Hi everyone, Joss here. Today I'm gonna be doing something I've never done before, and it's a video voiceover. The video you're currently watching, it's a 1v1 against Comrade Truck in 3.14. In the 1v1 map we usually use in ISS. The build I used that day was Progenitor Hive Innate Design. I usually banned build in multiplayer because it's just that strong back in 3.14. But now with what I'm gonna tell you about it, it's not gonna be that strong. It will not even hold a candle to it. So basically, this week's Coliseum was kind of fun for some interesting reasons, let's put it that way. The first one being, I had to leave early, so I shut down my PC immediately after I left the game. The recording corrupted and I lost it, so there was nothing for me to upload if everything was corrupted. And the second thing that happened that I'm gonna be putting on the recording about now, I hope, if I remember to do it right, is a screenshot of the game, of the save on year 42 from the perspective of HSXY. For some background, he's a Chinese player. A few months ago, we had Chinese players joining the community, joining ISS. They're super chill, they're super cool. We play a lot of team games with them. We know they're good, and all of that. And the screenshot I'm showing from him doing interesting things that it's year 42. He already researched Meg Engineering and Titans. And that alone doesn't seem that impressive because now you can just solely focus on engineering, and he has 2.7k engineering. But he has in total 5k tech. He also has 600 alloys per month. He has a real economy, he has real tech. He has 1.5k Unity per month. So it's not like he has bad numbers just to get Titans. He has good numbers of everything except maybe like storage of alloys and ships. But he was scaling, so he didn't care too much about that, I suppose. Um, and if I'm doing this right, I'm gonna be showing now a screenshot of year 68 from HSXY as well, of the empire he was playing. And we can see 16k tech, 4.4k alloys per month. We see that he has 6 ecumenopolis. We see that a big portion of his economy came from trade. I'm just showing his capital in the screenshot with 23k trade. We see that it's a fairly big capital with almost 18k pops on year 68. And while you're watching the video in the background, I just want you to think that the numbers that I'm showing on the video in the background, I know that they're not the best numbers you can get, but they're also not the worst. Like, I know that you can get up to $400 per month year 30 in that setup. I got 200 something, but that requires a second arc furnace, that requires some other shenanigans, and at the time it wasn't that good of a player. And just want to go back to the screenshot one last time, I hope. Not only does he have more alloys than I will have during the game with Counter Truck, that I'm supposed to be pumping alloys like crazy to keep up with ship production. He has 5k tech at the same time. Sure, he has 7 planets, but still, he's not using a busted origin per se. He's not using Clone Army, he's not using Sin Fertility, he's not using Knights of the Toxic God, which it's hilarious we have to consider them to be a busted origin now. He's using Overtuned, but in the Colosseum we have a restriction that makes it so you cannot take the Ascension on the second perk, but on the third one, so it's not as strong. But that didn't stop HSXY from having insane numbers that after year 40 basically no one could compete against him. The only option to stop him was to kill him year 30 basically. I might not remember to do this because I don't really have the screenshots. I'm gonna say this from memory, but basically the thing that HSXY did was play Overtune. He goes double trade traits. He takes the plus 25% experience gain from Overtuned, and he gets 2 minus 3 traits by being the special portraits of the Necroids that can get it. And with that setup, he can go cloning without any issues and without having too much punishment from having rooted, because he can remove rooted because he's Overtuned. And the reason why he goes for the extra experience is for statecraft. Basically, the build revolves around going mercantile, going statecraft, going prosperity, and just scaling and just ending with 6 monopolies. If you had more planets, you can have even more. It's not like you're lacking the alloys, the energy, the tech to do it. You just lack the planets or the will to win even harder. Because pops, you're not lacking them. You can have a lot of clone vets and you just get insane pop growth. Leaders, you're not lacking them. With statecraft and with destiny traits from the scientist, that gives you even more experience. You can basically cycle new admirals and get them to high level every time, which he seemingly did not do that, which is kind of good and bad. Good for us, bad for him. But you could do it. But just the fact that you can do it, it's insane. So yes, I'm going to like reorganize my thoughts and go back to look again at what you're watching on the screen and compare it to Titans year 42. That just speaks volumes to the power creep that this game got with 4.0 as an update. Even just thinking about the alloy production, it's very funny because one of the major things that Paradox did for the update was, hey, we are removing a lot of the, basically all the building upgrades for alloys. So now per pop you should have less alloys. They were nerfing alloys while introducing the bioships. But that seemingly doesn't matter because you can just have 6 monopolies. The audio glitched for a second. I don't know what happened there. And as you can basically tell, this video is just me complaining about the balancing of the game, because I'm not complaining about HSXY doing this. I think it's very funny that he did it, but just from a balancing standpoint, this is not healthy. This is not sustainable. It's just a matter of times until we as players, especially in a competitive environment, we will discover new ways to get even bigger numbers, basically. Like, for example, a thing that we discovered is that storm chasers can have the fastest machine ascension. in general, just ascending in general. If you get the right storm, if you go death cold, you can ascend the fastest if we ignore Overtuned second perk's ascension. Other things we discovered is that Memorialist, it's really good for Gestals, even though Gestals suck compared to Bio, because they don't have trade, and they don't get energy, and they don't get unity. And we're slowly discovering more things. But that's slowly becoming a problem, because before it was, oh, you discover something new, that's really cool, we can disrupt the meta and fight against the hives, and Bio still be viable, and this and that. And even if it was not as viable, you can still fight back and go psionics, for example. But now it's like, no, you can't fight back. You either kill them before they get strong, or you just die. There's no in between. So yeah, this is just a rant with gameplay on the background showing relatively good numbers for 3.14, and then just ranting about excellent numbers for 4.0. And I might even do a guide as to how to get those numbers, and if I'm capable of showing similar numbers for the guide, I might just do a live stream where I beat all crises year 50, because why not? It's something you just can't do now without that many problems. I've already tested the build, it's just not capable of getting the exact same numbers he gets, like Titan 042, but I still get high numbers. But they shall be good enough to beat all the crises at max level. I've done that in the past with worse builds, and just with this build it's gonna be easy. Because balance doesn't matter in this game right now. The only reason why more casual players don't have this being as disruptive is because the AI sucks. And that's really sad to think about. That Paradox doesn't really care about that balancing side of things because the AI sucks, so most players won't realize that the game is so unbalanced because the AI can't do anything good with it. They could have the most broken build, but because they suck so bad it won't matter. So I'm gonna say one more thing and then end this. I originally planned on doing a rant about performance, especially after MMM, where we basically did 8 years in 90 minutes. It was truly an experience. It took us like 90 minutes still just to get to year 10. And in 6 hours we didn't even reach year 80. And it was just horrible from a both viewer and a player experience. All the performance issues the game was having. But then I just went into Reddit. Big mistake, should not have done that. I hate Reddit. And noticed that most of the complaints were about performance, but not many people, as I expected, were talking about having issues with the balance because the AI sucks. Most of the balancing issues was just, hey, the AI is bad, it can't do anything. But from a multiplayer standpoint, the game is just not balanced. It's just slowly not being fun. We are currently talking about restricting planets, restricting ascensions, restricting even more origins, restricting even maybe traditions. Like, what is this? Why to have a balanced game? We're not asking for the impossible, just balance. Why, in order to have that, we need to go through so many hoops that were not necessary less than a year ago? So, yeah, that'd be all. Shout out to Jet5 for trying to make me into a real YouTuber by having a complaining video about something. This is my complaining video. So, bye.